going on, everyone? Daniel here. It's time to review The Last Ship, Season 3, Episode 11, titled Legacy. Spoiler review. Make sure you have seen the episode. It should take me about 2 minutes to recap it, then give you the pros, cons, and final score. Thank you so much for joining me. Next week is the finale, man. That's it. No worries. Season 4 is next year. We have a big story arc. You know, this episode ends a story arc there with Chandler and his crew, but it's beginning a whole new one. Tex has returned. Oh my God! Everyone who's been watching, man, has known all season. I've been like, "Where's Tex, man? Where is he? What's going on?" You know, like, why don't they have him back? And they finally brought him and found a way to bring him and swerve him back where he's important to the story. And man, did he kick ass this episode! So, again, spoilers. Make sure you've seen the episode. Let's get right into it. Quick side note down below: I have the links to my latest movie reviews for this week. There are no spoilers in there. About 3-4 minutes, easy of a movie review, including Don't Breathe, the latest thriller movie, as well as my fall TV 2016 review schedule down below in the description. If you guys are interested after this, please check it out. I encourage you so much. Anyway, let's get on to the recap. So we begin this episode with Tex getting beaten up in this barn. He's thrown in this little cell where, of course, the cattle usually are. He ends up escaping, and he's going to meet Kara at this gas station. He's supposed to meet her there. He ends up escaping, and the people that were holding him hostage are like, well, we know where he's going, so let's send some people over there. Oliver has this speech, and he's forced to wear this like gray suit and everything, and Shaw, she's like, if you mess up one word from that speech, I will have your family killed and all that. You'll be dead and all that stuff. And also, they showed the way President Michener passed away, or he got killed. The president before Oliver, they showed how he died. I like the idea of showing it, but the way it was done, the way that, like, it was so, the way it was shot, the way it was edited, the way that it was filmed, it wasn't constant, like it was laggy and everything, and the way that, you know, it's just poor the way they did that. I wish it would have just been regular, showing him how he dies instead of it being all like effecty and all that. And yeah, I didn't like that part about that. So anyway, he's preparing for a speech and everything. Of course, he's forced to do that, and it's about like the USA and the government not being no more, stuff like that, like different sectors and stuff. Kara and Jacob are in trouble, but Tex ends up saving them. That's where they're at the gas station. And the Nathan James is making a plan to go after President Peng, of course. So they attack where Peng is, and he's like at this, I believe he's in Japan or somewhere around there, and he's at this museum, and his people are just, his crew are just burning all this history of this culture and burning it down, exploding stuff there. So they're just the history of the country. So Slattery and his crew, such as Danny and Wolf and all them, they're on this boat, or excuse me, I think it was one of the, he's with everyone. Like Slattery has his crew, and then Chandler has his own crew. He's on ground, and then Slattery is on this boat here, and they're taking over this Ping's boat, and it's called the Henan. So anyway, Slattery and his crew take the Henan ship, and the other ship will fire at them, the other Ping's ship, saying that if you don't answer your comms and that, we're going to fire, we're going to take you down. So anyway, they send missiles their way near Chandler on the ground, but Slattery ends up destroying, you know, the missiles get destroyed, and then Slattery sends a missile all the way to the other ship, and he ends up destroying that ship there. So Takahaya ends up killing Ping, and the way that it was done, man, I loved it so much, because it felt so much like all season it's kind of been Peng, and you know, we've seen, remember at the beginning, Takahaya wasn't a good guy. You know, we saw him, he was you know, we were thinking, man, he's a crazy guy, he's taking Slattery's blood, he's taking these, you know, he's not a good guy. And now look at him, man. He saves the day. He's fighting back, and you know, this is what you've done. You're the reason why the cure didn't work for me. He took it out on him, man, with that sword right to the area here. I thought it was pretty awesome the way it was shot and everything, because Takahaya just got shot, and then Ping just got shot, but the sword right just in the middle here was perfect, and I love the way it was shot on the side and everything. So anyway, that's where Peng says, "You are not alone." Or, excuse me, you are not alone. You are all alone, basically, as in, that's it. Like, you're the only, like, Navy out here, only military, everything else is shut down. You guys are going to a place where nobody wants you there. So he ends up saying his goodbye as Takahaya says goodbye. I'm going to stay on Japanese soil. I'm going to die here. So And now I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, what about your wife? What about your kid and everything? Or you're like, what? Are you just gonna... But it turns out later in the episode his kid and everything and his wife are going to go, and she wants to die on Japanese soil too, but they're going to give... Their people are going to take care of the child and everything, so... It's sad. It's a very sad, emotional sort of leave there, but Takahaya's a good man. He proved himself at the end that he's got the back of America and Chandler and all that. So the White House speech goes on. Jacob Barnes is there, and he ends up interfering, and it's all part of the diversion, stuff like that. So Tex and Kara end up saving President Oliver, and they end up leaving. But Barnes is left behind and sadly demised. He ends up getting killed hours later. Some undisclosed area, somebody ends up shooting him and killing him. So the government is dismantled. That's it, and Chandler is to blame. That Nathan James is heading towards America. So now, here is my pros and cons for this week's episode. I really like the actor who plays Takahaya. I've seen him in other shows, and I ever since I saw that he was in this season, I just went crazy, and I've always enjoyed Takahaya, even though, again, like I said, he was evil at first, and then, it's all like... He thinks the Americans did it, but no, it's actually Peng. He was totally wrong in the situation, and you could see it, and then his baby comes, and it's emotional, and it was sad. I didn't get to drop a tear when he was leaving, but I felt it in me. I was like, it sucks. I wish they could do something about it. I wish his wife and him, they could get cured, they could get better, but he wants to die on Japanese soil. He wants to go. I thought it was very nice. He shook Chandler's hand and everything. He ended up leaving. It's a great departure. The action was great this week, as always, man. That's one of the things The Last Ship always does right. Tex was kicking ass, man. Chandler and his team in formation. I really love the way that they saved President Oliver from Barnes interrupting. They bring him into the building. Tex ends up taking the 2 guards down. It was honestly great. The one thing that messed up in that one situation is Kara not pulling the trigger on Shaw. That, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people were yelling at their TVs saying, like, honestly, I was pissed off at that because it's just, who cares? She's not your friend. Shaw doesn't care about you. Kara, I don't know why she didn't end up pulling the trigger. It was a really, really bad decision. She could have ended something there. It wouldn't have ended the whole situation, but you could have got rid of her because she is definitely annoying Shaw. But I really enjoyed I enjoyed President Oliver. I'm glad he's still alive. Honestly, a big chunk of this episode felt like a finale, and I like that a lot. I don't know if any of you guys felt that, but Peng ended up dying. A big story arc ended up stopping right there, and the way that this whole episode ended with the whole Chandler, he's to blame and everything. The government's all dismantled, and there's different sectors in America now. The way that it ended, it felt like that's the finale. That's the season 3 end. That's it. Next year, Chandler and them will make their way to America. They'll arrive at the premiere, and then all that big stuff goes down. Honestly, I'd rather have this be the finale than next week. I honestly wish there wasn't another episode, but we'll see how next week goes. I'm really happy that Takahaya got to get his revenge. So maybe I didn't like Jacob Barnes all season, but he was kind of growing on me, and I thought he would be with Kara at the end and everything. He's dead, at least supposedly. I mean, we saw the gun kind of go, and I didn't see the body fall. I didn't see him actually die. He may still be alive for all I know. But from the looks of it, they ended up killing Jacob Barnes, which I thought that was a poor decision. If he is actually dead, they could have kept him alive to get information out for all he's got. For one thing, I'm pretty sure they got all the information he got, but they could have done that, and to get Kara back, use leverage with Jacob Barnes. Now we do see Tex interact with his daughter very little, and then she's there driving a car with a submachine gun. And I'm thinking to myself, like, for one thing, I want to see Tex and his daughter interact a little bit more. He's been teasing all that up, and I know he's been spending time with his daughter for a long time off screen. But honestly, he does a little look at his daughter at the end and everything, but I would think they'd be talking a little bit more. They'd have a little bit more there, a little chemistry there going on. I was disappointed by that. Hopefully in the upcoming season or next week we get to see more and his daughter actually interacting on screen. As much as I like Slattery, I thought it was very lazy the way that he just pressed a few buttons and then the missile landed on the other ship. I know he did a joke of how it's all the same and all that, but he's on an enemy ship. There's Chinese buttons everywhere, and it landed right on the mark. Did they even aim at it? Again, I thought it was cool. Again, I love Slattery so much and all that. He's a really cool character, but just the way that was all done. And that's a big ship for one missile just to hit exactly in the right spot. Again, I just think that's kind of just a lazy written scene. Kara literally has no reason to keep Shaw alive. She literally could have ended a feud right there, shooting her in the head or in the body, injuring her in the throat. As well, maybe Jacob Barnes would be alive if Shaw would have been dead. As well, I know Shaw had like 2 guys on him and everything, but I believe Tech shot them. Why didn't he just run to them and get in the vehicle when he had the chance? And last but not least, President Michener's death. Now, I have no problem with seeing how he died, him just basically getting strangled, but the way that it was edited, the way it was done, it literally looked like a 90s rock music video. Overall, this episode for The Last Ship was really good. I mean, we have a lot of things to celebrate about this. Pang being dead, Tex coming back, a lot of great action. I'm giving this episode of The Last Ship a solid B. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to hit that like button and comment down below. Tell me what you guys thought about this week's episode of The Last Ship. Share this with your friends and hit that subscribe button for more. The road to 500 has begun. Till next time, I'll see you next week for the Season 3 finale of The Last Ship. Bye-bye.